So, what are you eating in Iceland? Because the food's when I've been over to Scandinavia, and I can't compare the two because I know they're different, but I would imagine it's somewhat similar. And
Food in Iceland. I mean, honestly, it's very similar to the States. I think one thing, there's not as much like good snack foods. I think in the US, we have a lot of great snack foods. Like, when you go to like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's and they have the snack section, I feel like that, like the healthy snack section doesn't really exist here in Iceland. Like, they
probably a
have
good thing.
chain they have some chain, like they have like Cheerios or some like normal brand cereals, but when you go into like Whole Foods and they have these like weird healthy like brands made with like cassava flour, or I don't know, made with like rice flour, and it's all these like crazy foods. You don't really have that here in Iceland. So I feel like I've actually really been enjoying going to the fish market here in Iceland because they catch fresh fish every day. So if you go there, it's not just fish that they caught for the week. It's like fish that they caught for that day, and they have some like pre-marinated fish. So like I really just only need to throw it in the oven and it tastes so good. So I'm gonna miss like that. And they have like a really good meat market too, where you can get like fresh cut meat. Also, I love the bakeries here in Iceland because they have like you can go and get like fresh bread daily, like fresh sourdough bread. I don't think you can really do that in the States. It's like
No,
I
it's
feel like
hard.
the bread you buy in the US, you have to toast it because it just like doesn't taste good when it's not toasted because it's just so dry. But here in Iceland, you can buy bread at the bakery and it tastes so fresh that same day.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I haven't eaten bread in like a month and a half because this project we are doing, and I'm like, oh my god, I want sourdough bread so bad right now. Uh, Tell me this: what kind of fish? Because every country you go to always has different fish that they push on you or that they
They,
specialize in.
I mean, they have like fresh. I'm like my go-to salmon. They also have whitefish. I mean, you can eat whale here in Iceland.
Mhm.
I've had whale one time. That was like really like red meat, different
Really?
tasting. But I mean, they have pretty much everything that you would kind of figure like normal fish. But I think for me, I usually buy the salmon.
And it's Sweden that has the horse that they eat most fish.
No, they have horse here too. I mean, I don't really know where you're gonna buy that, but in restaurants, like I saw like horse on the menu, and they have like puffin, like the bird. It's like an Icelandic bird here, and they eat it. It's a puffin, like with the orange beak,
Yeah,
and so
yeah, I know
they eat
puffin.
some crazy things.
Yeah, but so do we. It's whatever you think is normal. You
I
know,
mean, we have in Florida, you can eat alligator, which I think
yeah.
is like so weird. Like, why would anyone want to eat alligator? But I mean, I've tried it, but I'm like, it's not like something I'm like, oh, I want to eat alligator meat. So yeah, there's weird things all over.
Do they have Rasmus and I talked about this forever. Do they have hot dogs everywhere there like they do
They have
in
hot dog
Sweden?
stands. Yeah, that's like the thing here. I actually haven't even gotten one hot dog, which is really sad. But Con Porter, my teammate, he loves the hot dogs. So like he'll go after the swimming pool and there's like a hot dog stand. You know how you find in like California taco trucks everywhere?
Yeah.
Their thing is hot dog stands.
That's New York City too. New York City has like we used to call them dirty water dogs because they like boil the hot dogs in water in the cart and then
That's
you
gross.
I it's so gross. And we used
I
to
don't
joke about
Yeah, I just don't think the hot dogs in New York are going to be as good as Iceland.
well, Iceland, we talked about this about how they like cut a hole in the bun and they stick the hot dog all the way down in the bun and they'll put like you pour the ketchup or mayonnaise inside. They do mayonnaise too. Ugh, it was so gross. The whole time I was in Norway and Denmark and Sweden, we were touring around and I was with a couple other comedians that went with me and they kept eating hot dogs like all day long and it was making me ill. I just was like, all right, enough with the hot dogs.
I can't
But
do that.
no, but a lot of meatballs too. We would do meatballs and fingerling potatoes.
That
That's
just
like
sounds like a very fatty diet. That does not sound like my cup of tea.
Well, I'm touring. I'm going to venues, and a lot of times they cook for you at the venue. So I had no say. I'm not like, hey, I like to stay healthy. Do you have a grass fed steak for? No, it was like you all sit around a table and they serve you. It's like eating a family dinner. And
Yeah.
so I would be meatballs and fingerling potatoes, and it was like every night. I was like,
Uh,
do you guys change at all? But so I don't know. I haven't been. Iceland's supposed to be gorgeous, though, isn't it? Like the most one of the most beautiful places in the world.
It's so beautiful here. It's actually really cool because I've been able to experience it like in the winter and also in the summer, and it looks so different from the winter to the summer. Like you look at like the big mountain and it looks like the white wall from Game of Thrones here in Iceland. It really feels like that. And then in the summertime it like looks completely different and it's so green, the flowers, like it's very pretty. There's just a lot of great scenery here and very untouched. Like when you're driving down the roads, it's like so beautiful.
How do you guys think you're going to do as a team? I mean, do you think like I let me before you answer? When I talk to CrossFitters, I always find like competitive CrossFitters, they kind of know when in individuals, they know by like where they are and incrementally how much better they get, how they're going to finish. It's never like this guy that's like 38th. It's like, I'm going to win it this year. It's always like, well, I'm better at this and I'm better at this. So I feel like I should be here. But I feel like with games, there's a lot of chaos involved.
I mean, I feel like it's really hard as either an individual athlete or team to kind of say where you're going to be at. I mean, our team, I feel like, will be one of the best at the CrossFit Games, but we're not going there to be one of the best. We want to win. And so I think we're going to do really well if we keep doing what we've been doing. It's been great that we've had a lot of practice together as a team. So, working on things we're not very good at, like the worm or just working on like synchronized movements because obviously like teams like Mayhem, they've had this experience for years. So for them, they know exactly how to pace like a certain worm workout. And for us, like it's all very new to us. So like we're still kind of like learning. But I mean, we've been putting in a ton of work here in Iceland, and I'm excited to actually like put it to test the games. It's gonna be really fun.
Do you pay attention to the other teams at all? Be honest.
I mean, during semifinals, I was watching some of the teams compete just because I want to see how they do certain workouts, and obviously, we were going to test some of those workouts at semifinals. But during games, I mean, you're focused on like your own team. I mean, if one team does better than you, obviously that's gonna hurt a little bit, but you want to focus on yourself. And same thing as an individual, like you can only do the best you can do. So as a team, we're like, okay, how can we be better for the next workout?